Maliek, welcome to Cleveland. How's your first day been so far?
It's been great. Thank you for welcoming me.
Of course. Wanting to get to know you a little bit, get sit down and get to tell our Browns fans just what they can expect having you on the roster this year and getting to know you as a person. So starting out, kind of what went into your decision to sign with the Browns during free agency?
Well, I knew I was going to become a free agent, and I was like, man, we're not better. I want to really play with Jock again, Jock being my D-line coach. And then just being familiar with this scheme, being familiar with Schwartz, I thought that this would be the best fit for me at this stage.
What did you learn from Jock from your time together, and what really excited you just about being able to reunite?
I think the important thing about Jock is he just lets you be you. I mean, he's done it before, so he teach you things that he's a true just player's coach. I just say that.
When you look at this defensive line, it features guys like Myles Garrett, but also on the interior, there's some younger guys in that group. What excites you about being able to join this group of guys and what they've been able to do and what they want to do?
Well, I played with Beasley before. I played with Shelby before. So I'm familiar with some of the guys. I met Mike Hall today. I'm also familiar with him. We got the same trainer. And then I've always been familiar with Myles, of course. So hearing people and seeing people that I'm familiar with, and I study D-line play, so I'm super excited to get to actually play with some of these guys, and I'm ready to get at it.
Having those familiar faces on the roster and having those relationships already, how does that make the transition to a new team easier as you are learning new scheme, all the nuances of a new team?
I don't think it just necessarily makes it easier, but what mainly changes is terminology. I'm only playing like a attack type scheme. I mean, just learning the terminology, because that's the first part of the buying in, is using the same language, talking the same language so that we can communicate effectively. I think that's the big part. But I know what's expected of me, and I'm excited to do just that.
Wanting to play in an attack-style defense, like you said, what about your skill set really complements that style and that you want to showcase in that kind of style? I'm kind of known to be like a rusher, interior pass rusher, but I like to get off the ball. I like to hit the person in front of me, put my hat under their chin. It's just my style of play. You've had multiple stops throughout your career, so you've experienced different schemes, different styles in that sense. How has each stop along the way helped you in your career as you've grown as a player? Yeah.
So what's crazy is every stop I've made, it's always been a similar scheme. It's always been some type of 4-3, attack style defense, and that's what I've been. It's a blessing. Learning from these different coaches and learning from just throughout the process, I think it just made me more well-rounded, how to receive coaching, how to get feedback, and then just knowing what's expected of me. It's helped me become a more polished rusher, when to use certain rushes, when not to use certain rushes, and that's stuff like that I hope to pass along to the younger guys that maybe haven't been as many stops as me, or just still learning.
Absolutely.
Which I'm always still learning too. I'm hoping there's a lot that I can still learn from them guys as well. But I got a pass rush bag, and I'm ready to display it.
What was it like to talk with Jim Schwartz today and just hear his philosophy, or just talk about this team, and what really excites you to play for him?
He seemed like he was pretty intense. I'm excited to be around that type of intensity. He's a legend. I mean, if you know the history of where he comes from, and knowing the history of the style of play, the different type of players he's had, I think anybody would be excited for that.
And then a little bit off the field, what do you want Browns fans to know about you as they get to know you, not only as a player in your game, but as a person as well?
I'm a Midwest guy. This city and this feel of this city seems very familiar to me. Also, I grew up in Kansas City and I went to college at Nebraska, so I'm very familiar with this feel, blue collar, gonna work and gonna get the results that we want.
As you think about the goals that this team has for 2025, and some of the struggles they dealt with last year, but where they want to go moving forward, Why was that so enticing for you, just wanting to take that next step in your career as well?
I've been in places where, you know, you had a down year the year before, and you come back and you're a playoff team. Just recently in Houston, I think that's exciting. You know, just to see the excitement that it brings to the city, to see how it just, you know, that does everything to a culture of a team, to a city. I'm excited to see that type of transition here. Even though it's been done in recent history, I'm excited to see that being done and hopefully to continue to be done.
Awesome. Well, it was so great to chat with you and welcoming you to Cleveland, and we're excited to have you as a part of this team, so happy to have you.
For sure. Appreciate it. Thank you.